All right, so yeah, so let's get into the DOP. Okay, so this part is left. This part is basically for the geometry disintegration, which is not necessary to explain in the simulation part, so we check it. All right, and in the DOP, all you have to do is you can put all point or all geometry. So all geometry basically we put for both for point and conflict, so which is like this one. So if you are doing explicit constraint, then you need to put all geometry. It's good to keep all geometries, like if in case if you are changing anything here and it won't affect anything, that's because it is in all points or something. So all point also do, like if you are dealing with snow, sand, all point, and if you are dealing with soft body, all geometry. Even the snow and sand also can be done in all geometry. Okay, the birth you have to put $ff equal to 1. You don't have to change anything. And this is the guy, but let me introduce this first and then let's go here. All you have to keep in mind is constraint iteration. So as a default it will be 20, so I kept it 70 because the lower the particle separation, or low particle separation is equal to high res, isn't it? So that if that's the case, if you are doing the high res, then your constraint iteration has to be higher as well. So you can go up to 100, but it's going to take a really long time. So depending on that, you can try with 50, and if your simulation is really good, then keep it 50, don't go higher. Sometimes you need to play with constraint iteration and this one substep, okay, to get a really good behavior of sand, right? So maybe for example, if you keep it 1 and 1, there could be a chance of bouncing or too much of collapsing, okay? But if you keep high substeps and high iteration, then there won't be that jittering kind of, or jumping or bouncing kind of behavior. Okay, so that's the only thing I did here. And kinetic scale, I tend to keep it higher because I don't want so this is basically for sliding, friction sliding. So as you go higher, there will be less sliding. So I don't want my disintegration to go slide and like a pearls. Okay, so I want as it disintegrate, it has to stay right in the ground. Okay, so that's the reason I kept it higher value, and I did not change any of this. And I changed the clumping. So you know that this weight is coming from in the SOP level. Okay, so it is just like turning it on. Like if you keep it 0, then the attraction weight won't work. If you keep it 1, it will work. So I want 80% of the behavior from SOP level. 85, yes, 85% of the attraction weight from the SOP level. Okay, so you can keep it 1 if you want 100% from the SOP level. And visualizing and yeah, I want to talk about this, like, and then we need a force, isn't it? We need something. So instead of gravity, what I did here is I put the gravity in the pop force. So you can see minus 9.8, which is gravity. Basically what I'm saying is force multiply equal to active. So active we gave in here we gave the, you see here, right? Active is CR. Okay, so color, whatever the color turned red, activated. Okay, that's what I'm saying here. So in this pop force, what I'm saying here is force which is this one, apply to the active. So active is what active, we know that it is color CD, I mean red color. Okay, let's put red color. So whatever is red, give a force of -9. And you might be wondering, what is this then? So that's nothing. It's like what it is saying here is, if we don't keep a multiply, so then what happens, whatever the value of active, that's going to be the value of force. So I'll go back and see. It's easy to show from here. Yeah, so we know that CD, I'll keep only CD, hide all, only CD. Okay, and active. Okay, so you can see this active value is 0, and come on, I need to have a value. So yeah, so I keep it 34 so that I have the activate value. So you can see 0 and 1 is the maximum value. Okay, so value of active is 1 and 0, isn't it? Okay, so now I'll go back to the first frame so that simulation won't happen. Okay, so now you know that active value is, you know, for example, for the point number, let's take this value. So this, let's take it as a point number 1. Okay, so number ID, or ID number 1. Okay, so ID, if ID is number 1 and the red, like my animation come here, and when it hits the ID, then it's the active value will turn it on, isn't it? Active value will turn on. So which means this value will have active with value of 1, isn't it? So then the force applied to the point will be equal to 1 for point number 1, equal to 1. So that's the active value, isn't it? So look at how the force will be. 1 means, you know, right, 1, if you keep 1 means the force value will be 1. In the x-axis, z-axis and y-axis, the force will be 1. Okay, so which means it's gonna go somewhere like this. Okay, but what we need is, we want to go our point downwards. So multiply equal to means, so if this is 1, okay, so active is 1 and it is going to multiply with the value we give into the force, so which is this one. Okay, so now whatever is 1, so whatever the active is 1, okay, 1 into, so I will again show you. So example, the equal to result, if the equal to result is 1 for any point number, okay, it's going to multiply when equal to, so it's going to multiply this one value, going to multiply with 0 and multiply with -1, I mean -9, and multiply with this, so which then result 0, 9, 9.8 and 0, so which means it should go down. Okay, so that's why this multiplication, you know, constant multiplication, we gave it, so that it's going to multiply and we get a result of this, which is what we want. We want, you know, it whatever we give the value, take that value as active. Okay, so what is active now? So we said active. Okay, so it's going to go active. So in this DOP network, they don't know what is active. Okay, they doesn't know who they want to active. So that's the part Pop Rankle is you know, guiding. So Pop Rankle guide says that, you know, okay, in the input you say that outdance, I don't know why I put outdance, but you then need outdance. Okay, it has to be scrolling, it's whatever you can give the name, right? So you need a velocity. Okay, after the rest you need a velocity, because DOP doesn't know it has an animation and it has a you know, active points and stuff. So we need to tell them that it is all there. So first what we need to say that it has a velocity. If you don't keep this thing, Okay, if we don't keep this one, then we won't be getting the animation for our points. Okay, so we need to keep a trial and time blend if you want. If you don't want also, that's fine. So I hope you not this thing, it's a default. Okay, and now in the pop wrangle, I said mass equal to 1. If you want to say mass, like, it is good to have a mass, isn't it? So, and I said if act and a float active equal to 1 if in point group bond points, which is this one, bond points. Okay, so it's a point group, isn't it? Group type is point, so point group bond point. In point group bond point with attribute name, so it's a type of way we have to type it for bringing point. So if you want to bring point, this is the format. You need to keep 0 or 1 and then the string name, okay, and then the string attribute, attribute. So then we are taking the position. Okay, we are taking the position and then we are saying, okay, mass equal to 0. Okay, the position will have the mass 0 and velocity will have activate 0, whatever the bond point. So you know, whatever is this. So right now these all are bond points, isn't it? So all these will have 0 active, you see, 0 active and 0 mass. Okay, now it is excluded in the group, right? Excluded in the bond point group. So I'll keep it in the first. So then, you know, it will be active and mass also will active. So that's what this expression tells. This is very important. Pause the video and try to copy this. If you don't know what is happening, if you know and it is straightforward, make it mass equal to 1, make it active equal to 1. If the bond group or the area the group is taking, make the mass 0 and the active 0. So active 0 means do not activate it. But if not, so which means this cases it will be mass equal to 1 and active equal to 1. Okay, that's basically happening here. So you have to make sure is the spelling has to be right. It is very, you know, case sensitive, so spelling has to be right. It just the way it is here. Okay, just the way it is here. So that is very important. Other than that, it's all cool. And I kept the value this. Copy if you want, you can just copy it. So I'll just give a moment to you know, to see my parameter settings. Okay, so here, and this is, and the pop grain. So you can see it is, I copied this link. So whatever is the value here, okay, whatever the value here, so you can see here 0288, so that's going to be in here. Okay, so all you have to do is change the value in here. You change the value in here, you're gonna get everything cool. Okay, so 70, and this one I did not do anything else except the kinetic one as well. Pop grain and pop spirit for visualizing, and this is also for visualizing. If you want to see how so what you see here is how the attraction weight is going to be. Okay, so I think white is white and black is this color. Okay, so white gonna have clumping and the sand color have you know, no clumping. It's just gonna fall down as like a sand. All right, you can change the color later. So it's just for visualizing as well. This two for just visualizing. And pop force, nothing but this, and pause and the force. And I did not keep any noise. I don't want any noise, first of all. Yeah, this too, I did not change anything. This is empty, so I'll delete that. I don't need it. Just a ground. Okay, so here is it. Okay, right, so that's pretty much it. So my animation is gonna look like this. So here in the right is the simulation, and on the left is where the animation of that color red. Okay, so you can see how the disintegration happens in the simulation with this low res, and so this is how it's being created. See, wherever is red, that part is activated to the force, which we kept it a gravity force, which is negative 9.8. You can see that on the same, right? So you must be wondering why the red is over here but our sphere is there. That's nothing but we created the color animation, and also you can see it's spinning. That's nothing but just this one. Every frame into 10 degree has to be the value. So 1 into 10 degree, and 20 into 10 when the frame is in 20, so the frame will be 20 into 10, so 200. So likewise, so that every frame we have an animation happening. It's up to you if you want to keep it off, not since we have the mountain, then it'll look great as it moves. It's like the shape will have a non-uniform way of growth. It's a manual creation. It's very easy. So like you can see here, it's you have it's not a straight line all the way going. It has some places it has some places have this place higher and this is lower, and in some place you have the mutation of the bottom part is higher and the top part is lower. In here you can see it is straight. So because of that mountain and this rotation, we have a non-uniform growth. That's what is happening here, and you can see I have plugged it on this static grain source. Okay, so that's why, like, I was templating in here. That's why you can see something like this. This is here because the animation over here for this two sphere is applying on a static point. So, or other words, the rest point which is coming from the time time scale. Okay, so the other side, so I think it is pretty much clear about the settings. I'll just give you idea of you can note down the parameter here. You see I got this value and I transformed it. This is keyframed, manual keyframed, and I have an automated rotation happening. And here I put some distant value so that it becomes bigger, and same thing animated manually, and rotation, automatic rotation, and then I merged both. And in the solver, you can see the value of solver, nothing but this value with point has a CD. Okay, so that's pretty much it about this area. I think you can also note down this one and note down this one. You can post and make a note of it. And here there is no point of bringing it here. Anyway, I'm bringing it here, so it's good that you can have a track on it. It's like you can say, oh, there's attraction weight happening. Instead of going inside this, you have an idea. Okay, so this is the value of frequency and trial, compute velocity. This is very natural, nothing fancy. So what's happening in this side where the geometry is disintegrating, because there is a disintegration happening in the sand, but it doesn't happen in our blasting, right? Like blast, I mean the geometry is still the same. It's like the shoe is still there, but something is falling. But so if we are disintegrating, both has to fall, right? Like we are saying this is the sand. Okay, so we need to cut down, or we need to delete as our simulation happens. The body, there should be a body, and wherever this part is cutting, that part has that part should not have a geometry on it, isn't it? Like it should be the geometry like this, right? So as this falls, our geometry or the mesh also has to be deleted. So that is what happening in this side. Same thing, same as the point deform is what is doing, and we have the animation for the grain source, isn't it? So we take the same animation, and with same thing, it's like here what I'm doing is also blast, which has an animation. So I will make it like this. Okay, so this one has an animation and in the geometry, so I'm taking that animation part here, and then you can see we need a rest one, right? So rest one is coming from the geometry rest, so it is here. Okay, and again we need a geometry itself, right? So geometry has to be deleted or whatsoever. So we take that with a color. So it's like we take the geometries. What we are trying to do is trying to get the animation along with this one. Okay, so I'll show you, then you will have a understanding. But now you can, in case you are practicing it, you have a you have this the workflow how it has to be. So I colored it black, usual colored black, and plug it in the first, and the second one, not usual, when I mean new usual means same as what we done here, and the second one has an animation, so this is going to be my previous frame, previous, and this is going to be the animation or where we want to delete it. Okay, so you can see that. So here in the time shift, it doesn't move. Come on, I'm viewing from here, so it's faster. Okay, it doesn't move. Okay, and I colored it black so that I can color red and delete it. Okay, so that part is this one. Okay, inside here, so as the animation of spear, I don't know if you can see, right? So red is spreading. Okay, so same animation we taken for the grain source, we take it for this. So it's like time shift, colored, and the animation. So we have the red on a static. So this one is a static. You can see it doesn't move. Wherever I go, the geometry doesn't move. Okay, but you can see the growth is moving. So this is exactly what we want, so that we can color our object to the geometry. Yeah, you see now. So now you can see after the point deform, it's like point deform is taking the animation, the rest, and the solver or the color we distributed in. Okay, so here you can see why we need to use point deform for the geo as well. That's because, so after the blast with the animation, you can see there is animation happening. Okay, you colored it. Okay, and then you try to transform the animation color. You got, right, so this animation color to the second input. Okay, which is red, right, in the previous frame, and attribute transform, and I linked the same distance and blend width according to this one, because if we change anything here, it's going to reflect here, so that we get the same deleting. Okay, so that's just making it procedural. It's like, otherwise if you change anything, you have to go inside here and again you have to change it. So I linked it. Okay, so if you want to see it, or just keep it in the attribute transform only. So we are transferring the color. Okay, but if you see from here, so it has an animation coming, right? So right here it is coming animation, but when you play it, there is no animation. Okay, there is no animation coming. So that's why we need deform. Okay, so we need to deform. Basically, it's like we need to like the animation on the color. So right now it has an animation of color, so it need to be transformed, or what do you say, deformed with the animated mesh. So that is the reason we need to make a point deform, so that it comes along with it. So like right now, if I come here, wherever this guy is moving, the color is also moving. Okay, and then I grouped based on the color. Okay, so took a point, bond frame, anything, you can put anything, any name, doesn't matter, and subdivided it. So the reason why subdividing it, I'll uncheck it, I'll show you why subdividing it. So I deleted it, but you can see the cut. I did not like the cut they have it. Okay, so if I put subdivision, I have little more details. You can put more if you want, so that you get nice, but I think it is okay in my shot, because it's far, my camera is somewhere like this far, and there is sand coming, so I don't need subdivide. So here is the group, and here is the subdivide, open subgroup, and deleted based on color. Okay, you can put, instead of dollar, you can put at capital C D dot R, and this value, if you're not familiar with script. Okay, and then I'm deleting the color we have. If you middle mouse click it, you can see CD, which is black. You see black and red, but we need the material that we have it. So I deleted the CD from everything, so that I get back the texture, and then I put a material, right? So material is the only tricky part. Sometimes it works perfectly, sometimes it doesn't work perfectly, so you need to assign it manually, material thing, but most cases this will work. It's like you take the group, you go here, you take the group, so you have pant, you have body, so you can, so in my case, see, I have a body one, and I have a body group, which is body and body one. So you see, I have two material, 1 and 2, and both are coming from material, this one. So if we it is there. Okay, so you see it is coming from the zombie and material, so I'm taking the same material for body and body one. So it's there, like if you come here inside the FBX that you imported, which is not in use, we take this inside this one, right? Like if you go here in the material, you have that body one and body two, body one and body, just body. Okay, you can bring that. I think it is different from different material, different animation or different character, so you have to be a little tricky on here. Okay, so most cases it's very easy, but more like if you're taking the Romeo, it is easy. Just do this, make it 2, so you can add more by clicking here. Okay, so in my case I need 2, group and group 1. You can see group and group 1, and group 1 you go get the material of body 1, and the other you get the material of body group. So you get this one. Okay, so the next what you need to do is after the simulation, so I will make it this way. So now I think you understood what is happening this side and what's happening this side. Okay, and both of this using the same method of this. Okay, both the same part. This is geo part and this is the grain part. Okay, so after all of this you need to cache it. Of course you need to cache it. All right, so cache it so that it's gonna take for me it took a very long time, more than I don't know, more than 2 hours or 3 hours, I guess, because my settings was very high. Okay, so you depending on your machine, you have to be very patient. And post work. Okay, so post work, you can see a delete node that is nothing but this ground. Okay, I'm deleting the ground, so you can see here I'm deleting the point first. It's like you come here, you can see the point source group, you click that, you delete the point, and then you keep the point by keeping delete non-selected. Okay, otherwise what you can do, you can bring it's the same way, you can bring a dop.io and drag this here and get the pop object and paste it here and then go particles. Okay, so you have the same, it's the same thing, but I like to do for particle based, I like to do delete method. So it's like delete the points first and keep the point. Then okay, this fourth step, I don't want to spend time on explaining that. All you have to do is like you be here. Okay, you be here and you go to the grain, and there is this shelf tool. So this shelf tool Upres gonna give you all this. Okay, so all you have to do is press this one. So then it's gonna show you like what do you want to do. So you can say select the object and press enter. So now all you have to do, you select the object, now you press enter when the mouse is here in the viewport. It's like I click it, I can get another one. See, I clicked it and I got another. Same thing, you can see, same. So what's basically it's doing here is it is duplicating each points and giving us more points. Okay, so there are some script going, expression going, but if you want to learn, just go here and learn, but you don't need to. It's all preset. You're gonna give you the way you want, and color based on the way you like. Okay, so for me, I said that based on attraction weight, I need to color it. The wet sand will have darker color, and smooth sand will have light color, so that way you can do that. Okay, so that's pretty much it about the zombie effects. Okay, so you come here and now I'll discuss now I'll talk about the scene setup. And for the scene setup, you need to install Megascan, so because all the assets are from Megascan. So I have it over here. Megascan is by Quixel. You go here, you have the bridge. It is free, of course. It's free just like the Mixamo. This one is also free. So here is my Quixel Bridge. You see 15,000 of assets for free. So all you have to do, look for what you want. So you have asset plans, all these things, so you get what you want. Okay, so you come here and then so if you like this one in your scene, then go here, export it, and in the export you can find a lot of ways to export it. So go to Houdini and install plugin. So that's pretty much it to install it. If you have any confusion, you can I'll attach a link which I followed, so probably that will be easy. Or otherwise, if you don't want to watch it, then there is this help Quixel how to install it. So in this document, I'll also include this one. In this document, this says like very straightforward how you can export and what if you have any trouble doing it, so how you can fix it. So only thing you have to be considered about this path. Okay, so this path has to be inside the Houdini thing, so which automatically do it, but this document will be helpful if you have any trouble. installing it. Okay, so you go and you download it, and you will have an export system, and then you export it. So only thing you have to make sure is that your Houdini is opened. Okay, and it's better you click here and bring this one in front, and when you have that, go get your file. uh, Even if it is not there, it works, but I think when it is there, it works smoother. Like I never got any error when I opened this one, and then I started exporting it. So exporting is very straightforward. It just directly go to your scene. You don't need to import and stuff, directly go to in. So so here is my scene setup. So I have used this one, this one, this one, and the ground is a plane, but I applied as, so you can come here, you can ignore, I'll tell you what is this. Okay, so in the material, I've used a mossy ground material. So the ground is nothing but a grid, and I have applied a UV texture. So that's pretty much it about the scene setup. So if you want to have my asset, so I have included in the Gumroad file, but if in case you're not buying my file, then you can have a look at this. So here is the ID that I used. You take a moment and copy this. So if you want this Mosey rock, or like let's take the bridge log, so copy it. In your case, you have to, if you're not buying it, you have to type it manually, and look, you copy, okay, paste it and enter, so you get that. Okay, so if in case you want it, you have it. All right, so even for the Mosey ground, the material also it's here. So now let's talk about the grass that I made. So grass, you can see it doesn't look good overall. I know that's because I am putting the grass where the camera is going. Okay, where the camera is visible in the frame. That's the only part I colored. I made a grass, so you can see the grass setup. It's pretty big, I know, but I will include the tutorial for this, so that you can learn it from yourself. It's a procedural one. The tutorial is not mine, of course. It's like I've referred from other guys, but I will include it. Okay, and this is a shelf tool that I used. It's the same thing. I was just practicing it, how it's going to be if I use shelf tool and the procedural method, and I kind of like the procedural method much. So this one is here. Okay, the shelf tool is here, right? So that's pretty easy, and yeah, basically I want to discuss it. It's all up to your scene, how you create it. That's what grass is. So grass I have included in the file. So when you're buying my Gumroad file, so which is this one, so yeah, it is just $1. You can see $1. You can buy it. So in this file, what you get is you get the exact setup what I used it, but I haven't included the scenes, all of these, because the reason is because it is taking 1 GB and above. So it's like here is the scenes, so it's taking 1 GB. See, here are the most material, all the materials. I have included the readme file where you can just copy and paste it to the bridge and get the same scene. So here is how you're gonna get if you are buying the Gumroad file. So this is what you're gonna get. Okay, you have the asset from the mix ammo and the grass and the ground, and everything is all set up already. Okay, and even the lights and environment is also there already. It's like if you come here, you have the HDRI as well. So this HDRI is from HDRI Heaven, which I will include in the link in the description. It is also for free. You can get any HDRI for free. I don't know if you can use it for commercial purpose, but personal use, definitely you can use this HDRI. So all I have is HDRI and a layer of fog and camera and spotlight where it is moving. Okay, so this all are included in the Gumroad file. Okay, so and the last thing I want to discuss is this one. So I'm reading only the grains here. Okay, and the body I'm bringing it outside. So body means, you know, you can see here it is cutting down based on the solver. Yeah, you can see this one. I'm not reading that. In here I'm reading this. So you have to put a file cache node after and try to read that so that it runs faster. Okay, so if you're buying my scene, all you have to do is you know, click here, delete that, multiply by 8. That's it. You have everything with you. So this won't be available in the scene, but you can do it. It's very straightforward. So if you want to match the scene with mine, all you gotta do is bring all the bridge files, mix Quixel file, and you can match these setups. Okay, so this is my scale. Have a look at it and match it if you want it. Alright, so these are the value that I have given for each one of these. Alright, and in the ground, inside the material that I have put, you can choose any of yours, but if in case you want to have same, then you can use this, right? And for the grass, the extra grass, I'll tell you. So how I painted all of this is nothing but, you know, if you come here in the grass, on top you can see an object merge. So this object is coming from the grid. It's the same grid. You can see it's the ground, which is this. Okay, so out ground, this is what I'm taking, and I'm painting. Basically I'm painting it. I've subdivided it so that I can paint more. I colored it black and then I colored it red, so that, you know, you can see if you show all, then you can see these are the area that I'm going to make the you know, grass. So it's like I'm scattering points, and then so these techniques, I will include the tutorial that I followed so that you can copy the same if you want. You know, in case in your scene, if you want to include the grass, you can have this idea. So see, wherever the red part is, that's where the grass is coming. Suppose you want to match the scene with mine, you can have it. And I have both that Z body here. Okay, so just the Z body. There's nothing else, just the Z body. Z body means, you know, you can see here, I'm canceling that simulation so that it runs faster. Yeah, you see it is disintegrating. The body is disintegrating in here, and in here the sand disintegration happens, right? And this method that I showed you is which is this, you know, solver, and how you can disintegrate by using by animating manually. Okay, this method and this pop wrangle is what driving the entire simulation. Okay, so other than this, these two are the gold idea of this FX disintegration. So you can bring any model. So I would suggest, you know, get an agent and get your FBX here and connect it over this, and make sure the transform is right. So this setup you have to do manually if you want to change the character. Okay, it depends. This 3-step depends on your character. Okay, so once you have the character, you are good to go. The setup is all good, and the next one is how you want to animate your disintegration. So other than that, it's all good to go. It's like you can use this setup for any characters, anything. Okay, so I think it's a pretty good information on that. So get this set up, with you, and you know, like every day you can disintegrate anything. But you cannot do every day because it's grain. It's very, you need to learn how to be patient. Oh, when it comes to result, I like pop grain, but when it comes to, you know, time, I hate pop grain. Since I'm using mix ammo, so you need to change to auto take. All right, so that you can control these settings. If you are bringing using agent, then you don't have to do anything here. Okay, I think it will work perfectly, but in my case you have to go here and click on the auto take so that the color will be like this. Okay, that's pretty much it. So I hope you liked this tutorial and I hope you learned something, and it is very helpful. You can do the same setup, you can use for anything, not only crawling, even for jumping, even for walking, anything you can use the same setup. So I hope this will be very helpful for you guys. So that's it, I'm signing off. Please support me on Gumroad and even YouTube. So that's it, thank you for watching. Bye, take care, see you until next time.